Welcome to Diamond Solutions for Mathematics. Today we are discussing 10th standard mathematics applications of arithmetic progression. Here is a question. The sum of first n terms of a sequence is n squared plus 5 where n is a natural number. Find the first four terms of the sequence and also its 10th term. Sum of first n terms is given as n squared plus 5n. There, from that, we have to find out the next trace the terms. Then find the first four terms of the sequence and also its 10th term. Let us see how we can solve this problem. Sn equals n squared plus 5n, that is given sum of n terms. From this we can conclude S1 equals 1 squared plus 5 into 1. That is 1 plus 5, 6. That is sum of first one term equals 6. That is T1 equals 6. Sum of first one term means first term is 6. S2, 2 squared plus 5 into 2. That is 4 plus 10, 14. That is T1 plus T2 is 14. S3, 3 squared plus 5 into 3. That is 9 plus 15, 24. From this, we have to refer another one formula. Consider Sne minus Sn minus 1 equals Tn. That is sum of n terms minus sum of one term lesser than n equals Tn. That is S2 minus 1 equals T2. That is S1 minus S2 minus 1 is S1. That is sum of one first term. Sum of first two terms minus sum of first one term means sum of first one term is A, first term. But S2 minus S1 equals T2. That is a sure fact. Therefore, S2 minus S1 equals T2. That is, S2 is 14, S1 equals 6. 14 minus 6 equals 8 equals T2. That is, S1 equals first term, T1. S2 minus T1 equals 8. Therefore, we get T2 as 8. S3 minus S2 gives T3. That is 24 minus 14 equals T3. That is T3 equals 10. S4 minus S3 equals T4. S4 equals, what is S4? S4 equals 4 squared plus 5 into 4 equals 16 plus 20, 36. That is minus S3. S3 is given as, S2 is given as 2 squared plus 5 into 2. S1 equals 1 squared plus 5 into 1. That is 1 plus 5, 6. That is T1. S2 equals T squared plus 5 into 2. That is 2 squared means 4 plus 5 into 2, 10, 14. S3 equals 3 squared plus 5 into 3. That is 9 plus 15, 24. From this, S3 minus S2 is 24 minus 14, T3. That is T3 equals 10. S4 minus S3 equals T4. That is 36 minus 24 equals 12. That is T4 equals 12. Here we are following the equation Tn equals Sn minus Sn minus 1. Always remember that Tn, nth term, can be traced from sum of n terms and sum of one term lesser than n gives Tn. That is T10 equals S10 minus S9. That is 10 squared plus 5 into 10 minus S9. 9 squared plus 5 into 9. 10 squared 100 plus 5 into 10 50. 100 plus 50 minus 9 squared 81 plus 5 into 9 45. 81 plus 45, that is 150 minus 126 gives 24. That is T10 equals 24. That is 10th term is traced as 24. Hence, the first four terms are 6, 8, 10 and 12. 6, 8, 10 and 12 are the first four terms, required four terms, and 24 is the required 10th term. From this, everyone should remember that Tn equals Sn minus 1. That is an important message for all the students who are referring AP. That's all. Subscribe Diamond Solutions for Mathematics for easy and tough questions for